Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, thank you. First question is like, where's Waldo? It's, where's Mike? Mike, can you tell us where you are?
He's on mute.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Turn up a little, please. Thank you.
Can you
Go
hear me?
ahead, Mike.
We hear you. Oh,
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
Good morning. My apologies. Lynette and I went to New York for a dinner with a group that we meet every year in the city, and we parked in a parking garage about a block from the restaurant in Midtown. And we came out, we discovered that it was the building where the open shooter had attacked and killed 4 people, including a New York City policeman, and then killed himself. And the building was shut down, including the garage, which was locked until 7 a.m. this morning. And, it was a terrible tragedy. And we were unable to get our car, so we stayed with our daughter, and we're returning now. So if it wasn't such a tragedy, you would say I was claiming my dog ate the homework 3 times. But with all the parking garages in the city, it is kind of scary to think that that's where we were. But anyway, I apologize, and we'll do our best to continue the meeting with our staff and our board.
Thank you, Mike. I'm going to shift the agenda a little bit, and I wanted to start out with the tax return that's in your packet, starting on page 12. The 990 is there, the audit report by our accountants, UHY, and Nicole Overback from UHY is here to just summarize that report, if you would, Nicole.
Thank you. So the 990 is in the packet, like you said. I don't typically go through anything in detail on the 990, but if there's any questions, I can answer them. I know Brian had pointed out a couple things to Mike yesterday that we discussed yesterday, so minor changes to the version that you have here. But besides that, it's ready to go unless you had any other comments or questions.
Anyone with questions or reservations? Brian, Finance Committee recommends approval.
Yes.
Okay, Mike, anything to add?
So Brian and I had reviewed them, and one of the issues was the allocation of our expenses between program and management. And we did reach an agreement with UHY that it had just been a 50-50 split, and we did go through it and made it more accurate so that it does show that a greater percentage of our expenses are related to programmatic activities rather than management. As you know, we're pretty flat organization, so we wanted it to better reflect that our funds were being used to support programs, not overhead.
If there are no further questions or comments, I entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried. Nicole, thank you.
And we have one more document.
What's that?
That's the single audit financial statements.
Okay.
Let's talk about this quickly. So they're also in your packet as far as I know. Page 26 is really where the new material starts. So as you know, we issued the basic financial statements back in March to submit with Paris. These financial statements now add the single audit report, which is a requirement that you're required to submit with the OMB because you get federal funds. So we do what's called a single audit. So page 26 is our report on compliance over the major program that we tested. There were no issues with non-compliance, so this is a clean report. Go to page 31. This page basically just summarizes the results of the audit, which again, there were no non-compliance issues, there were no internal control matters. And we tested the community development block grant program this year as a major program. In the past, we tested the SBA microloan program. So this is the first year we tested this program, but it was clean audit, no issues, so it's basically expect.
That's page 98, Jim, in our packet. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's page 31 at the bottom of the financials, but I don't know what you say.
Right.
Thanks, Andy. Okay,
Once this is approved, then it gets submitted to the OMB, what's called data collection form, so that's due by September 30th. So once these are finalized, we will do that by the June.
questions or comments about the single audit?
Any management letter this year or required communications that would be abnormal or drawn out?
Nope, we didn't have any comments.
Great.
I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion is carried.
Mr. Chairman, I would just like to thank Nicole and Kenny Spirrell and Matt Vanderbeck for their assistance again this year with our audit and our 990. And also Kat Leiden on our staff for her work along with input from Martha and Lisa in completing this requirement, both for the Authority Budget Office and for the federal single audit. And also my appreciation to the Finance Committee and our treasurer, Brian Mahoney.
Thanks, Mike.
Will you distribute the required communications or get it to us just so we can get it to the board?
The required communications were issued back in March, so that was
Okay.
distributed at that meeting.
Perfect. Great.
So Lisa should have a copy again.
Thanks.
Thanks very much. Moving on, page 2 of your packet is a letter that we received from the outgoing president of Columbia Green Community College, Dr. Carl Drummer, expressing how much he enjoyed working with all of you and being on the board. And we certainly enjoyed having Carly as part of our board as well. Which brings us to her successor, who joins us now, Victoria Walsh, who most of you met on the way in. If you didn't, please after the meeting, take a few minutes to introduce yourself. Victoria Walsh, welcome.
Thank you.
As most of you know, the president of Columbia Green Community College is an ex officio member of this board, and we certainly look forward to working with you. Victoria is getting involved in everything at once here, not just the CEDC, but thousands of other demands on her time. The good news is that she was appointed to the position from a position she already had at the college. So she's familiar with the institution, the people, the students and so on. Thank you very much for being a part of this.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Let's see. Not on your agenda, I just want to make you aware that Ken Leggett, who chairs the loan committee, is going to resign as loan committee chair and as a member of the board. He has plans to move to Connecticut to be near his daughter. I'm not sure how soon that's happening, but the resignation will happen this month or in August. That means we need to find a new chair of the loan committee, and we need to put in another vacancy for a board member. And we'll have Rachel's ordinance and nominating committee work on that going forward, and we'll fill those positions. We thank Ken, did a great job for us, did 2 different stints as the loan committee chair. And that brings us to the loan committee report. Martha, could you tell us about the portfolio dashboard this month, please?
Yes, I think we do. The only change actually is loan plan. They came in last week with a check and brought their account first.
Okay. Questions about the portfolio? If none, is there a motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor? Anyone opposed? The motion is carried. On to the loan requests.
Thank you, Jim. The first request is from Big Towel Spa LLC. This is a public sauna. The request is for $50,000, which will be split between the 2 loan funds. Interest rate of 7 3/4, a payment of $870.57. And the purpose is to purchase additional saunas and the supplies and provide some working capital. We will have a first lien on business assets and a personal guarantee of the principal. Some of you may have read on gossips that the Big Towel Spa has declined to locate their spas at Oakdale this coming winter, and she plans to be in Palatine Park. So we're just waiting for a signed license agreement with Palatine Park, and then she will be ready to go. Are there any questions? And the financials that she provided are simply for the 2 new spas to be located in Germantown. They did not.
Oh, okay. Questions? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion is carried. The sauna loan is no sweat. So on to the next one, Boxman Logistics.
It's actually, this one does not require board approval. This one was approved by the loan committee because it's under $25,000. But just so you're aware, it's an individual starting a trucking business, and he is using the funds to purchase a truck, and we've been in close contact with him about the truck that he's going to purchase, and we'll have the a chance to vet the truck before he actually purchases it.
Well, put him in the high gear. Okay, Tommy D, he's the phone.
Is this normal?
Tommy D's Pizza is a pizza restaurant located currently in Prairieville. They do takeout only, and they now have an opportunity to move into a Hudson location right across the street from our office. It will be a restaurant with a beer and wine license. They're looking for $50,000. Once again, it will be split between the 2 loan funds. The interest rate is 7.75%, and the purchase will be used for, the purpose is equipment, inventory purchases, and working capital. We will have a first lien on business assets and the personal guarantee of both principals. And we have some experience working with these individuals. One of them actually took the micro enterprise class several years ago. And we've been talking to them throughout this journey.
Where's the location, Martha?
Prairieville.
No, I know where they are now, but they're moving
The
to,
old Molinos,
oh, okay,
right there.
wow, crap.
I do have a question on that, Martha.
Yeah.
You had talked about there's another business in there.
Yes,
Are they in there doing business today or are they coming in?
they're
Is
both
that
going to be
relevant?
coming in, right? So the lease, I think, takes effect on August 1st. And we just received the sublease that Tommy D's will have with the primary lessee. It's been reviewed by both attorneys, and it was drafted so that it would satisfy the New York State Liquor Authority.
And remind me of the nature of the landlord.
I believe it's called Bubba's Biscuit. And they will be baking and serving breakfast in there. And then Tommy D's will have access to the kitchen and the entire space starting at noon.
So it's the owners of the building that's doing the breakfast, not the folks that were in there?
No, the owner of the building is just a landlord.
Okay.
He's leasing primarily to Bubba's Biscuits and is well aware of the sublease, to Tommy D's.
So the sublease is with Bubba's Biscuits, not
The primary lease is with Bubba's Biscuits and they are subleasing to Tommy D's.
sublease, that's
Yeah.
right.
It's a 25-page lease that really spells out who has access to the equipment and at what hours and that kind of thing.
what if Bubba doesn't make it? That's my next question.
Well, they have a 5-year lease that they signed with both land.
So they're shutting down their other location, Tommy V's Pizza.
They are.
They're moving.
Yes.
Okay. They have a good following out that way, so, good.
Really?
I'll share that.
They
I
really
live in-
do. Great
I live in
pizza.
Prairieville and Tommy D's has been a terrific addition to the community. They're like wonderful product, great people. They really bring the community together. And I'm thrilled for them to be in Hudson, even though I will miss them. Because they're not my Friday night pizza place anymore. But they've been terrific and their marketing is outstanding.
I
as
agree.
well, so,
It's a great business.
Yeah.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you very much. And those out, please. Those out. just wanted to revisit the executive search that will begin later this year. Just remind you of where we're at. Mike is under contract with us as our president and CEO through the end of June 2026. And he'll be retiring from CEDC, sadly. So we formed a search committee, and the search committee developed the duties and responsibilities and the job descriptions contained in this report. Came up with a salary range and agreed on the other terms and conditions of the position. And around October 1st, we'll post this publicly and invite candidates to submit applications, which will be reviewed by the executive committee. The goal being that the new person would come on board sometime during the first quarter of 2026 and be officially introduced at the annual meeting at the end of April 2026. I want to get that person on in March or April. He or she will be able to spend a couple of months with Mike Tucker, learning the intricacies of the role of president CEO. So I just wanted to make you aware of this. Please keep this confidential. Don't circulate it. It's not ready to be advertised yet. Questions? Concerns? Okay. Good, let's move on. Mike, you still with us?
Yes.
All right. You want to update us on CEDC activities?
Well, either that or we could do the treasurer's report. But I
Let's
could do that. If you look at the balance sheet, you'll see it's consistent with previous month. In comparison to last year, our assets are up. If you look on page 2, by almost $800,000. That primarily consists of additional funds borrowed from the SBA, as well as the booking of the micro enterprise grants that we received from the state. And those grants are booked similar to the way we have booked some of the grants for Return Brewery, Clock Estates, Pine Hill Farms, where it's booked as an asset and a liability because these grants are convert to their loans, but if the recipients meet the terms of the loan, it's granted back. The loan is forgiven as a grant, so it does add some significant balance sheet asset and liability to report, and the balance of the increase is from the additional draws from the SBA. Are there any questions on the balance sheet? If not, on the P&L, we're on budget. Overall, the total income is down $25,000. We did close on, which I'll report on briefly in the president's report. The K&R housing project in Hudson did close, and CEDC's share of the IDA fee is $10,000, and that will be booked in July. The closing was in June, but we did not invoice the city until after the closing. So that will tighten up a bit. We also anticipate the Crescent project at the top of 8th and Warren to close with the city IDA. That would be another $10,000. So the deficit of $25,000 on the income line is more of a timing issue at this point. And if you look at the expense side, we're down $77,000 in expenses. And, employee expense is 41,000 of that. And, new initiatives is 21,000. So, I think we are on budget. I am working on the budget for 2026. We do have to submit it, to Columbia County in connection with our appropriation from the Board of Supervisors. Their cycle is a little bit earlier than the Authority Budget Office, but it will give us an opportunity to get a preliminary draft budget to the Finance Committee at its next meeting. One other issue that the Finance Committee is working on relates to issuing an RFP in September for accounting services for 2026. That would be for the independent audit, as well as a single audit if it's determined that that's still required. That's a function of how much federal grant and funding you receive in a particular year. We have been with the current firm for many, many years. They certainly will be. I hope they'll bid on the package, but it is good business practice from time to time to at least test the market for your independent audit expenses for provider. Are there any questions on the P&L or on the proposed RFP for accounting services?
If not, is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Next,
Mike?
Mr. Chairman, if that motion has been passed, I can go into the
Mike,
president's report.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried. Go ahead, Mike.
I think the biggest news in town in the last month has been the decision by Galvin to take both properties owned by Galvin Asset Management, which is their for-profit arm, and the initiatives, which is their not-for-profit foundation properties, and gift those to Bard College as part of a matching program for Bard's $500 million capital campaign. It's estimated that these properties in the aggregate are worth approximately $50 million. Chris Brown, our housing coordinator, has been working on this with me because of the fact that the projects we've been working on with Galvin have been related to housing. And I've asked Chris to give an overview of where we are and where the city is and where we think Galvin and Bard are because of the community interest. And I thought the board would appreciate an opportunity to get an overview in one sitting. So Chris, if you'd like to make your brief presentation.
Yes, thank you. I can give you the known knowns and the known unknowns, right? So I don't know how closely folks have been following this, but it's a pretty big deal. So Galvin writ large is really about 6 organizations in the city of Hudson throughout the county, and that entire portfolio is just about 80 properties. We don't know if all of the properties are in play. There's some scuttlebutt that 2 or 3 are certainly going to be set aside. It's possible that's just the Galvin Foundation properties, but it's likely that this is going to be close to 80 properties being donated or potentially being donated to Bard. Right now, Bard is in a 90-day due diligence period that started about 2 weeks ago. They have to get appraisals on all of these properties, and then figure out from there which ones they want to take on, which ones they don't want to accept. Their plans for these properties are a little bit ambiguous so far. The only things that we do know for sure is they have said that they don't want to use any of the properties for student housing or for faculty housing. If whatever properties they take on, they did recently acquire some property closer to the campus as sort of like a satellite campus where there will be some housing and some other facilities, but that is not the case here. I think the properties that people are concerned about the most are the community spaces, and Bard is certainly, exploring what those alternatives are. I don't think they want to own and operate a library. There are a couple other community facing properties in this portfolio that they'll figure out what they want to do there. They're also very aware of the affordable housing issue. There's an entire department at Harvard that works on affordable housing, both for its students and as part of their educational curriculum. So they're aware of that. They are open to working with any organization or any entity that calls them. Their CFO literally said it on paper, if you want to buy some properties, just email me. Here's my email. So there are a number of organizations that are kind of, I guess, circulating pitches within themselves. Some of those are the City of Hudson, certainly Community Land Trust that's now operating throughout the county. So there's a lot that's not known. The process that is known is the due diligence period is when all of the valuation happens. Then BART will determine which of these properties it wants to accept. And then what happens to the rest of Galvin's portfolio, if there are, say there are 30 properties that aren't accepted, that to me is the biggest unknown. So there could be a potential where there are a good chunk of these properties that are, kind of in this quasi state of being on the market. So that is what we know. I can take questions, I probably can't answer them.
Who's the CFO that said that he was willing to accept?
Oh, Tui, is his last name?
Okay.
Tom Tui, yeah, I've never heard it, so I didn't really want to pronounce it first.
We reached out to Galvin right away because we're in the middle of a couple really big projects with them, and then we also have some big accounts with them. And just asked, how are we moving forward? And they said business as usual, same contacts. They don't anticipate any changes. So I don't know, but we were a little worried about it too.
That's the exact phrase I was told as
Yeah.
well. There's a gentleman I work with at Galvin on several grant applications and just
Yep.
various housing strategies. And I emailed them and said, are you still going to be applying for this grant and that grant? They said business as usual. The rest of our initiatives are moving forward as normal. And I haven't heard about any layoffs or anything. So
I know one in particular right now, big that we're working with them is the hotel, which I think the hotel is being left out of this whole equation. They've confirmed at least.
I think there are 3 properties that are sort of out there as these are likely to not be included. The hotel, which is basically 4th Street from Warren to Columbia. The old tennis courts, which are now a theater or will be a theater, and then Crossroads.
Right. Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Mike?
Thank you, Chris. We've been working with Galvin on the housing project that you see when you come in and out of our office on the 3rd floor mezzanine. It's financed through the City of Hudson IDA. They're in the process of leasing it up. The project has rent limitations, and the limitation is that 12 of the 65 units are to be leased to people making less than 80% of median income, and the balance of the units to be leased to people making less than 130% of median income. Chris, you can jump in here, but my understanding is 80% of median income for a family of 2 in Columbia County is 80,000. Is that approximately correct?
All right, I can take 2.
And the 130% is 112.
113 for a family of 4. Oh, no, sorry, for a family of 2. Yes.
So, that's the eligibility. The issue that Galvin is having in marketing it is that there's also a credit check, and the state multiple is either 35 times monthly rent or 40. Galvin is using the 35%, which would allow people to have a lower credit than if it was at 40. But they're having people who qualify either for the being at or under the 80 or 130%, but when they multiply the $2,500 rent times 35 and they get 78,000, they're not credit qualified. We're meeting with Galvin and the IDA over the next week or so to see how they can up their marketing, because with 65 units and the issues they're having, they're going to need 200 or 300 people to apply to fill that building. So if you are aware of anyone that's in those income brackets and possibly could meet the credit requirement, the units are very nice, and we're we're hoping that it'll be a successful project. We've also been working with through our role as the executive director of the city IDA with Penrose Development out of Philadelphia. They have a contract with the City of Hudson School District to purchase the J.L. Edwards School across from the county building. As you know, that's been empty for quite some time. The Hudson Development Corporation had it under option for a year in an effort to determine whether they could find funding to turn it into a community center. Unfortunately, that effort was not successful. The Penrose contract with the school board is subject to approval by the voters, and we understand that district is going to hold a referendum at some point in the future. Penrose is looking to apply for a $5 million pro-housing community infrastructure grant. The issue was that only a municipality, industrial development agency, or a local development corporation like the CEDC could be the applicant. The state would then fund the grant through that applicant who would be contract with the developer to utilize the funding for the purpose of the grant. Initially, they asked CEDC to be the applicant. Jim and I discussed this. We ultimately convinced the city of Hudson that they should be the applicant, primarily because they also have to consider a zoning change for the project. And the city council has also designated itself as the lead agency under the State Environmental Quality Review Act. As part of that, they have asked us for a letter of support, which rolls into the fact that this is the season for state grant applications under the consolidated funding process. Those applications are due this coming Friday. And we have received a number of requests for letters of support. And I believe Lisa has included at your table a schedule of I guess 6 or 8 letters of support that we've been asked to provide. Asked in the past the chairman of the board to sign these letters so that I'm not signing them and then sitting in judgment of these applications as a member of the governor's Regional Economic Development Council. Are there any questions, or Jim, did you have any comments on any of the particular projects on the list?
No.
They're all good projects. We do play above our weight generally. Last round of CFA funding, we received 15% of the grant money, and we're only 6% of the population of the 8 counties that comprise the region. Did I hear someone have a question on one of the proposed projects?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a question. The Hudson's gonna, with this, in regards to the school, so the Hudson IDA is gonna handle it?
Now, the Hudson IDA will do the IDA work, but the grant application will be the city of Hudson itself. The city council passed a resolution authorizing the mayor to submit the application.
So the county IDA won't be involved?
No,
Yes,
because-
no.
Wow. So it's,
With Empire
I
State,
did,
the grant is with Empire State Development, Mike?
yes, under their pro-housing community grant program. Chris and I aren't sure whether they all have the Division of Housing and Community Renewal administer the grant, but it will be ESD funded. With respect to the Hudson IDA, in addition to the J.L. Edwards School, I did have a call yesterday from the developers in California who are working on the former Elks Club on 601 Union. They are going to be presenting their application to the city IDA for a 40-room hotel and an addition for banquet space at the IDA's September meeting. Again, the structure of our fee arrangement with both the county and the city IDA is that we get a $12,000 a year administrative fee on a monthly basis, and we get $10,000 up to 10% up to $10,000 of their closing fees. So, it is important that we continue to identify IDA projects and work with the IDA boards, both at the city and county level, to see if we can't get these approved and move forward. Jim and I had an inquiry from two members of the board of the Taconic Hills School District. They were interested in more information about a program that we have worked on for 5 or 6 years, known as Career Jam. It's a program for 8th and 9th graders to learn about opportunities and career opportunities in general, but also in the county and in the region. We were able to connect them with the Career Jam team. It's a basically set up like a job fair, but each of the vendor companies that participate are expected to provide some experiential experience that relates to what they do, and explain to students going booth to booth what job career opportunities are and what the path, educational or training path is to get to those job opportunities. We also discussed with the Taconic Hills school board members moving forward with a collaborative effort to promote better communication with businesses and the educational institutions in the county. We worked to set up a call yesterday where we ensured that Amanda Parrish from the Workforce Investment Board, Carl Norton from the college, several other school superintendents, chamber, Jessica Whalen, the new executive director of Hudson Development Corporation, and others were on a call. Amanda, could I ask you to just give a brief overview from your perspective? Because as we know, the CEDC board feels that the workforce in education is an important component of the overall economic vitality of the county. But there are so many others who are in the lead, and it's their day job to promote economic or workforce in education. And with the college at the lead, we think that our role is to be supportive and facilitate, and I think we've done that, and we can continue to be helpful. But Amanda, if you could give a brief overview of what you thought yesterday's call was, and the potential opportunities that might come out of this project.
Absolutely, Mike. Yeah, it was a number of school administrators in Columbia County really looking to create some intentional conversation for students and their pathways out of high school. So whether that be college, the workforce, and having training providers in the room, the college continuing education and workforce development office was there. They had union representation talking about apprenticeships. A lot of really interesting conversations, and I think that they're all really invested in kind of creating opportunities for the school districts to work with Questar and the college and other entities to get some things in place for students, particularly those who aren't going into college, who are looking for skills into the workforce. The one thing that I really took from it and tried to reinforce is that the businesses have to be at the table of these conversations from the beginning, because I think that there's sometimes a disconnect about what our local businesses may need and what our schools are teaching. I'm hearing that from a lot of businesses. So the next steps are really going to be to continue these conversations with this group, but bring our local businesses to the table to have a collaborative discussion about the skill sets needed that they're looking for when students are coming out of high school, for example, whether it's, those soft skills that we talk about or hands-on skills with advanced manufacturing, welding, all of those things. So as the workforce development board, one of the things that we do is we really try to bring everyone to the table to have those conversations. And since I have the connection with a lot of business representation, as the conversations go on, I'll probably be reaching out to members of this board, members of the workforce board, who are business and employer representatives in the area, to have that conversation with our schools. So that way that, Questar and the community college, for example, can work with them to create the training programs that are needed, and that we can keep the young people in our community working at our local businesses and have opportunities for meaningful. So it was a really great initial conversation, and it's wonderful to have the school districts invested, because they usually are, but capacity, and once the school year starts, really kind of gets away from you. So the fact that we're having these conversations in the summer, get some plans in place and meetings in place now. One of the people on the meeting really suggested bringing in the guidance counselors specifically to hear from everyone about what they need, because they're kind of the heart of, those conversations that can connect those students with opportunities. So there'll be more to come on that. I'm sure I'm happy to give updates as the year goes on, and I know Mike will be there, and Carl Norris from the college is there participating. So I'm sure he'll update Dr. Walsh on the, on SUNY's perspective and the college's perspective. So I think it's a really important conversation to be having, especially for those younger students. It ties into Career Jam, getting to those kids younger and younger is really, really important. By 11th, 12th grade, a lot of them have already decided. And so showing them the opportunities that are available to them in their community in middle school, and sometimes even younger, with some hands-on projects, can put them on a pathway through their high school experience to, go into the workforce. So.
Thank you. I think, it does help play our role as a facilitator. Two last things. One, we have been contacted by a group in Claverack who are looking to do some study of the Four Corners, at 23B and 9H. There had been a study done 10 years ago that we were able to provide a copy to them. They're looking to see if they can get DOT to tone down the speed limits in that area, and give it some sense of place. I also have been doing some research, and I do want to meet Rachel Levine with you and whoever else that you'd like to include on Germantown. I've pulled all the commercial property lists, so we can go through that with you and begin to talk a little bit more about using Germantown as a pilot for some of the hamlet and village economic development support that we've discussed. And finally, Chairman Morell at the Board of Supervisors had approached us about serving as the local development corporation in the role of their disposition of I believe it's at 610 State Street, the old where the old Hudson, the original Hudson High School, where the probation department, I believe the public defender is. They're moving to 11 Warren Street, and the county wants to sell that property. Jim and I had discussed this when it was first brought up, and one of our concerns was that at that point, it appeared that the most likely purchaser was Galvin. With their decision on Bard to dispose of properties, we think that that will not be the likely purchaser. A local development corporation is set up under New York law primarily to serve in this type of a purpose, to assist municipalities in acquiring and disposing of property in a way that is not constrained by some of the public bidding requirements that a municipality would otherwise be subjected to. They haven't formally asked us, and we did assist them with the property that the county purchased up on Route 9H adjacent to the Commerce Center. we had a minor role in there, and an option from Galvin on, 11 Warren. But, as this moves forward, if it does materialize, we did want to give you, some visibility to it in advance so that, we could have a thorough discussion of it before we made a commitment to the county. Jim, did you have anything to add related to that issue?
No?
So. Again, the staff has been working hard. Chris has been working on 15 or so individual housing initiatives. We've had additional inquiries related to the county IDA, both with the Summit project and Philmont, and the possible revival of the La Bella restaurant expansion project in the town of Kinderhook. So it's been a busy time. We hoping everyone enjoys some part of the summer, and unless you have questions, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mike. Any questions, comments? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the June 24th meeting. Second. All in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion is carried. Looking ahead to August, governance and the nominating committee will meet on August the 12th. Loan committee's meeting August 18th. The board meeting will be August 26th. We are always open to comments from the public. I don't believe we have any members of the public attending today, but if there were, we'd listen to what they have to say. Anyone from the board with anything else to bring to the fore? Okay. Mike, your wife Lynette is in the card. Is there anything she'd like to say before we adjourn?
I wanted to assure you I wasn't driving while we did this. Thank you all very much, and again, please keep all of the people whose family were impacted by this tragedy in New York in your thoughts.
Thank you. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your summer. And thanks to our great staff and all of you as board members. We're adjourned.
Thank you.
Oh, brother.
So nice.